Hey everyone, and welcome to Almost Cancelled. I am Peter, that is Matt, and we are going to talk about g.l.o.w Season 1, Episode 10. It is the season finale of the first season. I thought Matt was holding his hand up there to ask a question.
No. Let you do the intro.
Yeah.
Being your hype guy.
Yeah, you threw me off, because
That's right.
I was missing the whole symbol. I just seen like one finger creeping in at the
Gotcha.
side. And it
Yeah,
looked like you were like, "Sir, can I ask a question, please? Got a question."
Bad framing on my part.
But yeah, this is the season finale. It's called Money's in the Chase. So full spoilers for the episode as always, and full spoilers for the whole season because we'll probably talk a little bit of the season as a whole as well. I imagine wrapping up.
Although if you're watching this and you haven't watched the rest of it, it's on Netflix, man. It's not like you have to hunt them down.
Oh
Not right
no,
there.
of course. Obviously, I feel like some people do dip into the last review though to see, like, how did we feel overall? Like, was it worth it at the end of the
That's
journey? Some
kind of
people do that.
weird.
I don't know, but it's in our numbers though. You always, whenever you look at a Netflix set of reviews, the first
Yeah.
ones obviously always get the most because people come and see the first episode's good, and
Right.
then the finale is always the one that's the next biggest because that doesn't necessarily mean they've not watched the whole show, but they might not have wanted to watch all the reviews. They just might have wanted to skip.
I
to the
thought it
end.
was weird that Hulk Hogan showed up. It was totally weird.
It was really weird, especially since he was in drag. Like I don't expect.
Yeah,
that
I
at all.
know. And then Ric Flair was there with his weird spaghetti head, and man, not a good look when he's supposed to be '80s Ric Flair. Oof.
Joe really not surprised me, but what I thought was really notable about this finale is just how much of it was just the actual wrestling matches. Like,
It
so
was.
much of it was just what was going on in the ring.
So last night, peek into my personal life, they had the first women's wrestling show for my local promotion.
Oh,
Which what's the word? Not fate, but it's like happy accident, coincidence, I guess, that we do our last g.l.o.w review right after I watch an actual women's show. Like,
interesting.
it's pretty cool. Like to see from the '80s to 2017, and it's those girls struggled early on. Let me tell you.
Yeah, I assume there wasn't anyone coming out going, "I'm from Soviet Russia," and you
No.
you Americans are puny, and yeah, none of that. I'd
But
expect
yeah,
as
but
much.
it was a nice little thing, especially because this was like we were getting the wrestling show, even though it wasn't shot that way because we kept
Yeah.
rolling behind the scenes. But I enjoyed it very much.
Yeah, so much of it was, and I think they'd kept what the actual events in the matches, what the moves were going to be like. Although in the main event with Ruth and Debbie, which we've obviously seen a lot of the training for, the rest of them they'd kind of kept secret from us. So, and
Yeah.
they were all simple enough that you could buy. Oh, they've learned to do these things, and
Yeah,
that's fine. But at the same time, they were impressive because we hadn't seen a power bomb from them or a suplex or whatever. So it was nice to see those moments happen.
yeah. I popped for that power bomb. Like I was like, oh man, look at that.
Yeah, and again, very sports movie. Like she's the
Yeah.
kid whose dad was disapproving the entire
I-
time, but then in that final moment when she's panicking, he's in the crowd chanting her name, and it's like, yeah.
And I was like, he better be there. Like, and then he does. I was like, oh man, that was probably my favorite subplot was Carmen, wanting to break out from under her dad's shadow. So it was a nice, heartwarming moment.
Yeah, it was a nice touch, and I like that they swerved us because obviously we start the episode. Sam's kind of AWOL because he's getting drunk, blind because of the whole daughter revelation, right? Because that's what Sam
Smell
does.
like a distillery.
Yeah, I like that even because obviously they made the joke once when Ruth came up to speak to him because she's arranging everything. She's went full on like I am going to make sure this happens mode.
Yeah. Yep.
And she's like arranging everyone. She's got everyone like Bash is doing stuff, getting the hall ready, and they got the pink ropes. They had that already, so that was
nice.
cool. They go out and pay people to come because the crowd's not really that big. So it's like here's $10.
Yeah.
Cool. The money made from the car wash. So it wasn't even like it was money that just came out of nowhere. They actually
Right.
no, this was the $300 they made doing the car wash,
Yep.
and they gave some money out for people to come and see them. So there you go. But so they make the joke once with Ruth coming up to him, and then Arthur sees him, and Arthur does the same thing where she gets close and then goes, "Ooh, look, what's going on?"
Yeah.
So I like that they repeated it. They didn't forget that he's supposed to stink, because I feel like a lot of stories or a lot of movies and shows do that, but they'll have a joke about a character being smelly, and then
Yeah.
no one else will notice it.
They'll forget about it. Yeah.
So I like that.
Also, the scene where he goes and tracks down Justine.
Oh my
at
god, the funny
Lily's house.
that moment where he says, "I wouldn't have tried to have sex with you if I knew you were my daughter," and the mum who the boyfriend's mum's there behind him.
Yeah.
That may be the funniest moment of this entire show.
Yeah. I just because Marin sells it so well. And then even that look is like, yeah, you don't judge me. You don't know my situation.
It,
Just that look on his face
it
was
was
perfect.
it was a look from her behind him, and then she's like, milk or sugar? And
Yeah.
he's like, black, thanks. Like, it
Yeah.
was just, oh, the look in her face was killing me. It's like, this is a nothing character. We've seen her in no other scene this entire season, and
Well, and this is the first time she's even aware of probably Justine and Sam, and this is her first taste.
oh, it was
So
so good.
you only get one time to make a first impression. So
I laughed so hard. It was just, it
yeah,
was such a great moment. So yeah, a lot of it is them getting things together, and then we get a lot of the actual wrestling. There's some fun jokes, of course, about the ropes not being held up properly, and like
yeah,
Ruth doesn't know how to direct the camera guys, so she's just like, oh, just go around the ring handheld. Yeah, you don't,
yeah,
no tripods. Tripods are
yeah.
banned. And then Sam walks in later when he finally shows up. He's like, "This is shit. Who's directing these assholes?"
Yeah. He's so good. Sam's come so far. All the characters have really come so far too. Even Ruth, who started off being kind of unlikable, but you understand her struggle. To she actually shines in this kind of leadership role. Like, granted, she doesn't know how to direct, but
Yeah.
it still went off without on their part. You can't control
Yeah. Well,
unruly fans.
she was there and she made a choice. It may not have been the correct choice if she knew what she was
Right.
doing, but she was there to make a choice and she made it. So it's actually one of my favorite little jokes actually. Mainly because I've been in this situation kind of myself to an extent, where she's like commanding and she's backstage like, all right, when you're done with the makeup, do this. When you're done this, you do that. And Melrose walks up and goes, oh, who put you in charge? It's like, do you want to do it? You're doing a great job, Captain. She walks off, and it's that idea of like it's actually really stressful being the leader because you have to actually care about everything and you have to wrangle everyone. And it's the moment where like Melrose cracks a joke about it, and but the minute she's like offered that role's like, oh no, I'm not doing it.
Oh,
like,
of course, yeah.
You do it. It's fine. So I like that. It was like a nice little true to life moment. I thought.
Well, and she also gives Bash basically the script on note cards, so he has something to work with, which I thought that was a nice touch as well, because you needed the announcer, and I thought he actually brought a lot to those matches with the stuff that he was saying.
He did okay. I did think it was funny though how he would like he'd make little comments that wasn't supposed to be part of the announcing, but he'd still be on mic. Like the executive guy was there and he'd say, "Oh hi Kevin," but he'd still be on the mic. I thought that was pretty funny. But no, the actual matches themselves were fun. Carmen getting over her stuff with her dad being there was fun. The early match and everyone getting angry at the terrorist angle with Arthie's character.
Yeah, poor Arthie.
Yeah, you felt bad for her. I felt bad for her.
You do. But she had that nice cannonball. Like,
yeah, that looked good. Yeah.
Looked real good and beating up on Britannica.
Was it the Lebanese cannonball?
I think that's what they said.
Oh, yeah. Britannica's entrance with a robot though. I was digging.
That was the g.l.o.w.
The g.l.o.w. That's right, the g.l.o.w.
Yeah, that was a nice touch as well. All the girls kind of were paired off to show their strengths. It was pretty nice because you had Tammy and Machu Picchu in theirs, so they could they were working off of each other.
Oh, see the shoving the food stamps down her throat. Oh god, that was cracking me up. All of it was entertaining. All that stuff was great, and they had, of course, all small moments with Cherry, like telling her husband that she'd maybe be getting this role that she'd auditioned for. But there's obviously it sets up this confrontation for her own herself, where she's like, "Well, I can't do this and that. I have to pick." So that'll be a little bit thing for her going into season 2. That'll be cool. But I just like the idea of them like talking about this and be like, "Oh, I'm so happy for you," but he's still sort of doing it with the same facial expression, so he's in character, like checking if she's okay.
Because he's the ref. Yeah.
Like,
I also like
that.
how he dropped his character to yell at the fans.
Yeah, the assholes.
Well,
Well,
I'll come down there.
Lesson learned there, though. Security is something else you need at these shows.
Yes.
Because some people will not understand that it's a show and they'll be there.
I mean, 2017, that's still sometimes the case. People, wrestling shows and alcohol sometimes don't mix. So,
Yeah. Actually, I don't know. Did see like most wrestling events, did they serve alcohol?
Yeah, if it's a bigger show, like the show I went to last night, it's like basically like in a little warehouse. So they barely have like water and soda to sell. But at some of the bigger like indie shows, there's always a bar. So, but they have security. So like you said, it's a lesson learned. If you're gonna have those types of fans, you need to protect the workers.
Yeah, get some people who look bigger and badder than the actual wrestlers to publish everything.
You only need Carmen's dad there.
Yeah.
Just But and then we get to the main event.
Which obviously,
that
because throughout the episode, that's the other thing we've not mentioned, is that Debbie at the start, it looks like Debbie's also giving up because she's trying to make it work with Mark, and Mark's being a douchebag.
yep.
And he's still a douchebag, like, the whole time, because they actually go to the show and they're in the crowd, and he's like, oh, this is so silly. And I think it's the moment that really pisses her off, and probably why they won't actually get back together in the long run, is when he dismisses the work that was put into this, because she says, oh, the girls worked hard for this, I want to support them. And he's like, did they? And it's like, oh, you're being a douchebag
still kind
now.
of silly.
Yeah.
And then, and then he's like, okay, cool, we're here. When can we get dinner?
And do you know what?
And he's just, I hate him.
I'm conflicted about how I feel about this being planned, because obviously I like the fact that after this all goes down, like, Ruth has her match, the tag team match, and she all heel, she turns on her, and she goes super heel because she turns on her partner and all that.
Yeah.
Great stuff, right? And then part of me was like, okay, I know what's going to happen. Debbie's going to have that moment where she says, you know what, no, and I thought it was going to be spur of the moment, though, and I thought it was going to be genuine, like, this is her making the choice, and then she took off her shirt, and she's like, oh, she's already got, like, gear on. I'm like, okay, this was planned.
Yeah,
this was kind of planned, and I kind of like that, but at the same time, part of me thinks, would that have been emotionally, just for the character on the show, to have been a spur of the moment decision to go in and be the American hero and beat up the Soviet?
So, it definitely wasn't spur of the moment, but I think the stuff with her husband was...
Oh, yeah.
Because I really think she was trying, and that's why she brought him. But when she was like, well, that's what you said about Paradise Cove, which was her soap, that it was all silly.
Good job remembering that name, Matt.
Yeah.
I was good to remember
Can't
that.
remember his name off the top of my head, but I remember the name of the soap. Mark. Yeah, Mark. So when he kind of dismisses that, that's where she's kind of like, it looks to us like she's made the decision, like she's going to help out Ruth, but we all know now that it was planned. But I like that it goes on two fronts. Like, she's made her decision. She's probably not getting back together with them.
Yeah. And it sets up I love the idea that she actually calls it a work. Like, Ruth calls it a work when Sam asks about it. He's like, that was a work.
Because
I'm like,
Sam, so they come in and Liberty Bell stands up and is for the American people because she's a hardworking mom. And she gets into the ring with Ruth and they have their match. And she lands that diving crossbody
off the top rope.
We've seen her working on off the top rope, not even the middle, the top that she couldn't commit to like 4 episodes ago, and nails it. And Ruth even tells her that was so good.
And again, then, set up and payoff. Like that was clearly set up, and then it was paid off. It was this big moment because she finally hit it, and it was good.
Yep. And so at the end, they're going to put the crown on Debbie or on Liberty Bell, and the welfare queen comes in and steals it from her.
Yeah. And
nice turn.
And at first you're like, oh, what was this? And then she's like, no, this was Sam's idea. And then you look over at Sam and he's sort of smirking. He's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, I get it. And I'm like, this makes sense. Like, if this is going to be a TV show where it's weekly, you need to have a cliffhanger. You need to have...
Yep.
And then
give them a
points
reason to come back.
Yeah, and that was the whole title, is the money's in the chase. Like, it's if you're just the winner all the time, no one's going to care. You have to claw your way up and win it. You have to... There has to be a villain that's built up for you to be the hero to defeat. Right. So it makes a lot of sense. It's as long as you actually have that payoff, which is something that I think the current WWE could maybe learn a thing or two about.
Definitely. Because I almost went cough, Roman Reigns cough.
Yeah.
But, but I like that Ruth and Debbie were like, well, that was so great. Why would you do that? I mean, we had the fake tag team match, and then the heel turn on the partner, and then the Phoenix from the crowd. And he's like, it was all lots of words here, predictable, right? Yeah. And so I swerved you, and I liked him always being a step ahead of them. Yeah. Because as the creative guy, he should be. And
it makes sense, because I think in season 2 now, it was like, I think part of the fun for a second season of this is, okay, now they have to have an ongoing plot, so how does that mirror the actual plot of them training and getting better, and like how, like, them coming up with, okay, so who's going to be the new hero? Does Ruth have a face turn where she becomes like a reformed Soviet and becomes a hero? Like,
exactly. Well, because the wall comes down in a couple years after this, so I mean, she has some heel time left in her.
That's true. Another little funny moment I liked, but the old time Bitties?
Yeah, the beatdown biddies.
The beatdown biddies. When they were coming out, it's like, "Are you cheering? I can't hear because I'm deaf." I thought that was funny.
That's good. They're straight up character. Like they're so funny. Even when they bend over Ruth and give her a spanking for being a bad Russian, like that was so ridiculous but so funny.
It was good stuff.
So, but Go ahead.
And obviously we have the nice little credit scene where it's them like rushing off the edit of the tape so they can broadcast it.
Yeah.
It's just this nice little thing where like, the whole thing's built up to the area in the pilot. We see the girls sitting around watching, waiting for it to start, and that's just kind of where we end. Is Bash doing the introduction, welcome to the gorgeous ladies of wrestling, blah 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 blah. There you go.
It was cool. I also like where it left Debbie and Ruth because you think at the end,
oh yeah,
they had that big nice moment, and then they're standing there.
And yeah, Ruth makes the sort of the jump and says, "Ignore that van outside." Ruth makes the gesture. She says, "You want to get a drink," because they feel like they're in a comfortable place, and they have that moment where almost you forget almost all the tension, like they're really bonding here. And she says, "No, we're not there yet," or we're not there." And I really thought in my head I was like, she's going to say yet. She's going to say yeah, like she's going to give her the little glimmer of hope that okay, we're actually building towards being okay, and she never does, but it still feels that way.
Yeah, but I felt that was also commentary on the episode where Sam would, that would be predictable, and so they set us up that they're going to be friends again, and then nope, there's a slight swerve there at the end,
and again,
that was nice.
Realism, but it just feels kind of real because of that. But but at the same time, it does kind of feel like they're kind of on the path, even if we're not there yet. The fact that they are slowly building that bridge back together, it feels like they're. I feel like that is something down the line. Speaking of Sam, Justine does show up to the show after adamantly, saying I don't want to, and she even cracks a very poor taste joke about wanting to make out again, which she is like, what? And quite rightly, I'd have reacted the exact same way, Sam.
Well, that's how you know that's actually her daughter, his daughter. Bad timing, bad joke. So
yeah. I like where this leaves us for season 2, and I feel like I am similar. I am both simultaneously kind of surprised with how little we advanced in terms of the actual building Glow this season, but at the same time impressed with how much we've built the character. So I'm actually I look forward to more seasons of this. I really do. I dug the hell out of this. Characters were likeable. A lot of them had a bit more depth than I think we would have expected going in. I still think maybe my favourite moment of the entire show from an emotional standpoint was at the clinic with Sam and him putting on the face for Ruth. I think that was probably the most touching the show got, and I never really expected that. So, but they've built an eclectic group of characters who I like, and I like all of them. I don't think there's a single weak link in terms of
because I love how much I don't like Melrose. They're doing a good job. She's that actress is pretty well because I've looked her up and she hasn't done much else. So I like how they find these kind of gems for these Netflix shows that you've never seen anywhere else.
It's a weird mix. I mean, Britannica. Someone pointed out that she was a famous pop star in the UK for a while, and I'd never heard of her. But so we've got a former musician. We have someone who's an actual wrestler. We have obviously Alison Brie's a pretty well-known actress, and she's had a pretty good career recently. But it's a real mix of different faces, which is cool. But no, I like the show a lot. Basically, if you go back to the first episode review, everything I said I liked about it then basically held up for the entire season about how it's kind of the sports / like competition movie where they're all learning to do their thing until the final.
Yeah, it maintains quality all the way through, and I hope that I think that it's because it's only 10 episodes, so there's like no filler. Like if this was on a network, it might be 13.
Hell, it gets better as it goes. I mean, honestly, I think 13 would be fine because I think the key thing here is it's not so much a big common misconception is when you talk about like when it's a longer season, it's not as good because there has to be filler. I think it's just a case of as long as they know how many they're writing for, they can make it paced properly. Because this is the thing. I actually think a lot of Netflix shows are guilty of having filler. Not filler episodes per se, but filler in each episode. Like those Marvel Netflix shows, as fun as most of them are, they are all too long.
Yeah.
They are all too long.
Oh, and they're what, 13 a piece about, right? Like
13 a piece, they're all close to an hour long. Whereas this was 10 tight 30-minute, give or take, episodes. So no,
definitely.
I will happily rewatch this before season 2.
But that's the thing. If they wanted to do season 2, 13 episodes, and we get more time with the ladies and Sam, I'm for that. But just out the gate, it helps that it's 10, and they maintain that quality all the way through.
Which is also enough because they also launched Castlevania, the animated series, last week, and that was 4 episodes. Not enough. Too little.
4?
4 25-minute episodes.
Wow.
It was done. You could watch the whole thing Yeah, you could watch the whole thing in about 90 minutes. It was shockingly quick. Now, I have got a feeling, because it didn't really feel like there was episodic either. It felt like it was just cut off at certain points. I think they actually made that as a movie first and then decided to make it a TV show after the fact.
TV show. Yeah.
It felt like that. It felt like one big
So
pilot for a TV show. But the point I'm making is much like I'd compare this to Stranger Things and what was the other one we did earlier in the year? There was a couple of Netflix shows, but there's been a few in the last year.
Iron Fist.
It definitely wasn't Iron Fist. There's been a few in the last year that have been better because there was a time when I associated Netflix shows with poor pacing. Like they didn't know how to pace them properly. And I feel like in the last year, Stranger Things was the first big one where I feel like, no, that was perfect. They made that a tight, perfect length. Each episode felt like it was perfectly paced. And this is where we are. So I feel like Glow continues that trend. And I'm looking forward to another season. I like this a lot. There you go. That's my wrapped up thoughts. So there you go. Season 1 of Glow. Thorough recommendation from Male Fuzz TV. So thank you very much. Let us know what you thought of the season and the finale as a whole in the comments below. Like, subscribe, all that stuff helps us out a lot. Get us on Twitter at mailed_fuzz for channel updates. If you want to support the channel and everything we do here, head over to patreon.com/malefuzztv. Look at some of the bonuses you can get over there. But otherwise, guys, that is us. So thank you once again for watching, and hopefully we'll get a renewal soon and we can see you again sometime next year for season 2 of Glow. But thanks for watching, guys. Have you got any vanilla?
Keep it too sweet.